Welcome once again to another edition of Shelf Life Book Reviews Online. As always, I thank you for taking the time to watch my videos, and hopefully you'll find them informative when you make your book selections. And this time out, I'm bringing to your attention two great coffee table type books, both from DK Books. Now, DK, if you're familiar with DK, and I think most readers would be, they're noted for an amazing series of coffee table books where they look at so many different subjects, whether it's the world, whether it's music, sports. They basically cover all the bases, and they're very thorough, and they're definitely books that you should proudly display on your coffee table and in your libraries. And the first book from DK is Batman the Ultimate Guide, New Edition. This is written by Matthew K. Manning and Daniel Wallace, and it retails for $40. And of course, DK is the publisher. Their series of superhero books that they've been putting out over the years keep getting better and better. And the latest, Batman, the Ultimate Guide, if you are a fan of Batman from way back or more currently, you will know the character of Batman is certainly one that has withstood the test of time, getting more popular than ever. He was first introduced in 1939 in May, and it's never looked back. His story basically was, Bruce Wayne was walking down the street with his parents, and a mugger shot and killed them. He survived, Bruce Wayne, and he vowed revenge against all evildoers in Gotham City. So he saw a bat and he became Batman. And as they say, the rest is history. So over the years, he has amassed a very large selection of villains who have been trying to kill him, whether it's the Joker, the Riddler, Catwoman, Two-Face. There's just so many villains. And this book talks about every single villain who's ever tried to kill Batman. It's very authoritative. It's complete, from the Golden Age to the Silver Age to the Bronze Age. And if you've ever followed Batman, you pretty well know what he's all about. It's got a timeline of significant events in the life of Batman. And I can't go through every single page, but let's just say it's what is here. It tells you the key issues that Batman has been in, and there have been many over the years. The death of Robin, the new Robins. There's been so many different characters that have come and gone. As well, there have been a lot of loves in the life of Bruce Wayne, aka Batman, such as Barbara Gordon, and he even fell for Catwoman once. And if you remember the TV series in the 60s on ABC that was on 2 straight nights where it was a continuation, it was sort of campy Batman, you know what Batman is all about. Now, today's Batman is very different. It's totally changed, of course. I followed him. I think I had every single issue of Batman, Detective Comics that he was in, and World's Finest, where he teamed up with Superman, and Robin was with him as well. So I think about every comic from 1964 to 1969, and then I sort of got away from comic books, but I still have so many fond memories of reading Batman. And if you are a Batman lover from way back, this will bring back so many nostalgic memories, and you will say, wow, I can't believe Batman has changed so much. You will still love the character. There's so much to love about Batman. So, Batman the Ultimate Guide is the ultimate book that you should add to your library. So, get out of your bat caves and get down to the store and pick up a copy of this book as soon as possible. And the second book of note, which is also from DK, of course, is Smithsonian Drive, The Definitive History of Driving. Now, this book is as thorough as they come. It talks about the very first cars that were on the road. And way back when cars were first invented, they were actually hated because people really didn't like them in the beginning. They caused a lot of actually traffic congestion. There are a lot of accidents, and it actually took a while for people to get used to them. And but in DK, the authoritative guide, definitive guide, and by the way, it retails for, $54, and it is worth it. But the book talks about every single facet of the car, the very first cars, when gasoline, long before pumps, gas stations had pumps, people bought gas for their vehicles in 2-gallon cans. So it took a lot of cans, especially if they were going to be driving a long distance. And the book details every facet from the very first parking meters, the very first parking garages, the very first car washes, and when travel trailers, which are part of driving, the very first inventions of them too, how people loved them to get around. They were so much bigger, they could take their whole family, they can sleep in them. And so technically the book, obviously I can't show you every single page here, but it shows classic vintage photos of the earliest cars, how people got around in the cars, and did they drive on the right or left side of the road. Different countries have different laws, of course, for driving, and there's just so much here. How cars were actually by some reluctantly wanted, and it's just every single page is an absolute joy. Now, I've never, I've got my driver's license, but I've never actually owned my own car, believe it or not. I walk. But even a non-driver, such as myself, was totally fascinated by this book. Now, a lot of the book does look at European cars and European driving. It also has American, and it talks about how Hollywood embraced the car, like earliest stars such as Rita Hayworth. It's got a photo of her in here posing with her car. It was both an advertisement for the car and for Rita Hayworth and the movie she was in. So the book also looks at automobiles in Japan and at different cities around the world. It's also, at the back of the book, there are the best driving routes. And there's one in about Canada, about a lake in Saskatchewan, where it's one of the best routes. And during the winter, you drive across the frozen lake. And of course, they test it every day to make sure that it can bear the weight of an automobile. But it is a journey across a frozen lake every winter. So the book has it all, like I said. So if you're into cars, classic cars, and newer cars, drive on down to your local bookstore and pick up this book. So those are the two books I wanted to draw to your attention this week: Batman and Cars. So, Batman had a Batmobile. So anyways, come on down to your local store and look for these two books, because DK has done it again. And so hopefully you'll agree with my analysis of the books, and you will send me your comments. So until we meet again, thank you for your time. Stay safe, stay sane, stay social distancing, and do stay in touch. Bye for now.